Hey guys, this is John Reardon with the Goodfellow Real Estate Market Update. This week, I thought we would discuss a topic that a lot of people have been asking me if we're going to see another bubble burst like we did in 2008. I'm going to go over some main points that I think are worth mentioning, but long story short, I don't think we're going to revisit the same scenario that we did in 2008. Number one, the demand is in the millennials. So the millennial buyer they're coming out. They are what's driving the bulk of the demand out in the marketplace right now. That's going to keep demand sustained for quite some time. Number two, pandemic is really causing a reshuffling of things. Buyers that lived in metro areas are now reconsidering working remotely and moving to more suburban areas, whereas before the trend was to live in an urban area. Number three, low rates are increasing the buying power for those buyers. Now, we have seen rates start to tick up, so it'll be interesting to see if the rates continue to go up and up. Will that cool the market a little bit? But right now, it's really like a balancing act. They're not going to raise rates too quickly because it'll cool things. So it's very federal induced right now. The Fed has a lot of power. Obviously, they've been able to sustain the economy and stimulate those that haven't been as fortunate in the recovery here. Number four, supply or lack thereof. There's just been folks that have just been sitting on the sidelines waiting. Maybe they want to sell, but they're just timing it, or they're questioning where they're going to go next. Number five, lack of building. So our building costs and permits are just so expensive right now that to take on a huge risk, I think most builders that have sustained the 2008 crisis feel those aftershocks and are worried to get burnt again. So I think because of cost too, they can't build entry-level homes that are really necessary. They can only build these luxury $1 million homes plus to really make any sort of profit after it's all said and done, which is not really helping the cause. Plus, land is hard to find still, too. Number six, sellers are on the sidelines. I think we discussed that already. Number seven, sales are not slowing down. So the sales are just kind of equivalent, if not up, even though there is heavy demand. We haven't really seen sales fall off in any way. So that's good. That means there's activity still. Even with the low inventory, everything is just getting gobbled up and purchased. The K-shape recovery. So a lot of people talk about this K-shape recovery. Some have experienced no change or even a better scenario for them, or some people have really seen some hard times and fell on really tough scenarios for them, job losses, etc. So we're really seeing a weird dynamic where some folks are better off, meaning they've had lots of assets either in real estate or stocks, or their business is flourishing as a result, or they might be in the hospitality field or leisure field and are hurting or laid off. So that is going to be start to open up as the economy is kind of coming back with herd immunity. But I don't think that we're going to see a flood of foreclosure crisis like we did in 2008, mainly because those that own a home have been building equity and have a lot of it. So if they want to sell because of a job loss, etc., they can, and they have equity. So they're not upside down. They don't have to do a short sale or simply just stop paying and do a deed in lieu and give the house back. they have equity, so they're not going to give that equity up. They're going to, if they're in a pinch, they're going to sell, and there'll be some of those, but the demand out there is so much larger that those will be absorbed very quickly, if not by investors. If you're a buyer out there, if I've been working with you, you know how tough it is. There's heavy competition. You have to be on your game. You have to be aware of the competition, and you unfortunately can't be afraid of that competition, meaning you have to be able to compete both on a price standpoint and on terms. So a lot of people, they understand the price, but the terms is a little confusing to them. What I mean by that is maybe you're waiving or considering absorbing the risk of a low appraisal that comes in. So if you're getting a loan, you have to get an appraisal. If it comes in lower than your purchase price, you might want to take on that risk of paying that difference. It's almost expected now on most property offers that are going in, just because everyone else is competing for the same property, and that's one of those things that can stand out to you. Also increasing maybe earnest money deposit, offering a rent back for an extended period of time, rent-free, just so that can accommodate the seller. So that might be an attractive thing for that seller. So keep all that in mind as if you're out in the market working with me. We are obviously working diligently with those select buyers out there. And if you are a seller or thinking about selling, reach out to me. I'm happy to have that discussion with you, obviously confidential. But if you're flirting with the idea of selling, this is unprecedented times for a seller to be selling. You have a lot of demand out there, and more importantly, think about the hard questions. Not if you're going to sell for a certain price, because that's probably almost a guarantee right now, but where are you going after you sell? Are you going to be renting? Are you going to be moving out of state? Do you have your next transition lined up? Because that is so important, because you could sell it quickly, but no one wants to be homeless. So anyway, I thought that would be a great topic for this week, because a lot of people are searching on the internet, asking if the bubble is coming. When will the bubble pop? Are we in a bubble? So I thought I'd just clear the air and give you some hard facts and insight as someone who's lived through the 2008 crisis, mortgage crisis. So, all right, till next week. Talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.